can we live? Can us men live? Are we allowed to live? Apparently not. Welcome back to the MrShowTym showcast. About the Shannon Sharpe shakedown case, of which it's clear, it's more evident that is the case with Uncle Shay Shay, big black man choking out little white woman.
Well, what, Gabbi?
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabbi.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Okay. We'll get to that in a jiffy. The reason why I'm doing this video is because it's just absolutely annoying. I find it very annoying how people, some influencers in our Manosphere space, in our redpill space, are just going at Shannon Sharpe. Everyone and their mother is going after Shannon Sharpe, talking about how he should have moved better, how he should have known better. And there's even some we're back. It's annoying how even people around Shannon Sharpe's ilk are coming across as, jealous. Because there's something called the male jealousy, male competition. And I'm just hearing a lot of talks how Shannon Sharpe is wrong and how he should have known better. Jealousy. Male jealousy. Yes, this is a shakedown. And you know what's funny? We haven't heard zilch criticizing Miss Gabbi Zuniga, aka Miss Gabbi SueNigga, and her phony lawyer goes by the name of Tony Buzbee.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busbee targets black men.
Now, some people have alleged that Tony Busbee has sort of like a fetish of going after successful black men. And, well, there is a pattern. Tony Busbee is like an agent of the Matrix, like whose purpose is to sit there and like, oh, these ninjas, becoming too successful. Oh, okay. Like, it's like playing like whack-a-mole. Whack! Oh, Jonathan Majors, whack! Jay-Z, whack! Who's the latest one? Shannon Sharpe, whack! And if St. Kevin Simon was still alive, most probably, whack! It's just discussing how, some people do these deep, thorough analysis breakdowns. Talking about, it's funny because on one side of the fence, they're talking about how men should strive to be high value to make that paper, to become successful and make as much money as possible, to live the free agent lifestyle. And in the same breath, they will put like 101 stipulations and warnings, these don't do's, do not do this, don't do this, like a minefield. These warnings, of which I'm not saying they're wrong, technically. I'm not really saying they're wrong. And as a man who went from obscurity to a somebody, now you've built yourself up to be a high value man. You have paper. That means now you are in the middle of a minefield full of mines and booby traps. And it's inevitable for you to maneuver across. And of course, even when, as a man, you try your best to carefully navigate and watch, mind your steps every time. And no matter how further you've gone, and you've been navigating yourself quite well, and stepping over, okay, not to touch any of these mines, not to set them off, okay? There are some people watching from the sidelines. They're like, oh, this ninja over here, I'm impressed. You're navigating yourself quite well. You haven't touched a single mine. And eventually, you know what happens? Because people are jealous, they take a mine and then they just throw it at you. And it hits you and it explodes. Bam! And it sets off other mines all around you. And it just it just becomes catastrophic and chaotic. And then out of the woodworks, people come out of the woodworks and talk about, aha, you see, you should have done that, you shouldn't have done this, 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 you shouldn't have. 101 critiques of how you slipped up were human. One can never be too careful. One can never be too careful. As men, we're not allowed to have one up on women. But women are allowed to have one up on us. You know why? Because it's okay to punch up. It's not okay to punch down. So what does that say? Men are the apex. We matter. I want you to picture that statue of the Greek god Atlas, carrying the weight of the entire world on his shoulders, on his back. And I've heard so many talks about, how women have changed. They're no longer as modest and as ladylike as they used to be compared to women from back in the day. Modern women of today, they've changed. They've become, modern women. And how us men were still held up to traditional standards. We're still expected to be, strong and traditionally conservative. Yeah, because we are the rocks. We shouldn't change. Because we matter. The world rests on our shoulders. That's our honor. Because if men go down, the whole entire world goes down. Men have been targeted more than women. Name me a female that was targeted other than the late Virginia Giuffre. Rest in peace to her. My condolences to her family. But generally speaking, women are not targets. Men are. Because we are the player ones. And of course, we live in a gynocentric society where men are not allowed to have fun. Shannon Sharpe has been, reported to be somewhat of a sexual deviant, okay? And he might be... We've seen evidence of him having a little too much sugar in his pockets, if you know what I mean. So yeah, he is suspect, and he did that whole Instagram live sex tape, let's call it, to prove that he's not a Skittle, of which he just told on himself. if people are alleging you to be a skittle, and let's say you're not a skittle, then you shouldn't care. You should be like, oh, well, people think it was, I don't care. But he went above and beyond to prove that he's not a skittle. Having some alone time with my Michelle. And now it's coming back to bite him. Shannon, do you know, for you to go live on Instagram, okay, you almost can't, it's almost impossible for you to accidentally go live on Instagram. Shannon, we don't buy the story. Stop. You went manually, selected the options, and you went live on Instagram and you put it on the floor and then you were clapping cheeks. Okay? We don't buy your we don't buy the story. Do you know the series of anomalies that would have to happen for you to accidentally go live on Instagram, especially when your phone is locked, when it's just on the home page, the home screen? Oh, stop. Shannon, stop. Okay? I'm willing to give Shannon Sharpe some slack. Okay? I say on to give him a break. Okay? Shannon Sharpe has, a successful podcast going for himself, especially blew up with the Cat Williams, the Cat Williams expose of Hollywood.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Last time I checked, it summed up to somewhere around 45 million views. And it probably has more counting until this day. So Shannon Sharpe has, retired NFL. He's a retired NFL football player, and very few people are able to make the transition over to being a podcaster, someone in the media limelight, ESPN, and having a successful podcast. I mean, of course, people are jealous, and I just see, I can just sense it in their critiques. Of course, yes. Look, there will always be something to critique. You can do 99 things right. That one thing you do, you slip up with. Not in the matter of you doing it wrong. You slip up with one thing, they'll come at you. They'll snag you. They're like, aha. How oftentimes do us men give ourselves like the benefit of the doubt? How often do us men cut each other some slack? I'm not saying Shannon Sharpe is perfect. How he went about that young OnlyFans Miss Gabbi SueNigga, the OnlyFans worker. I'm not saying he went about it perfectly. Show me a man who goes about anything perfectly. Do you know that even with St. Kevin Samuels, there were some people during his last moments on Earth, he was with a young Latina woman. And then there were some people talking about, you see, that's what you get for messing with them non-black women. As if there's no black female that would capitalize and try to get you. Because Miss Brittany Renner, he didn't try to screw over PJ. What's his name? PJ Watson. Dre Michelle. She doesn't. She never does some heinous stuff to her boyfriends and fiancés. Oh no, she's just perfect. Every other black female is just perfect. It's only them snow bunnies. Female nature is female nature. Okay, again, it's just plantation politics. Oh, Club Shay Shay, you should be Shannon Sharpe. You better listen to your auntie.
Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I know. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there.
You should be messing. You should be dealing with women your age. Shannon Sharpe is 50. Is in his 50s. Us men, we're not attracted to women who are as old as we are. We're biologically wired to go after young, hot pieces of tail. Legal. And Miss Gabbi SueNigga is legal. She's 19, 20. You know, at this point, I'm hearing, oh, she's 19, she's 20, she's 26. I don't know what age she really is. But she is legal age. And still, people are finding so many reasons to criticize. But look, I've done it too. Perhaps I am a bit of a hypocrite because I've done it. I've said some things about Andrew Tate as well. Talking about how he makes his own bed with these weird sexual kinks of his, that weird BDSM stuff. Slapping, hitting women. Yes, I've said that about Andrew Tate as well. Though, I mean, even with me, fine. But at least I'm coming out to admit it. Like, I am kind of like a hypocrite because I've criticized Andrew Tate. We're talking about how he makes his own bed, beating up women, and now the Agent Smiths are capitalizing on that, his vices, to sue him with, to take him down with. But at least I'm willing to admit that I too am kind of a hypocrite, and I'm at least right now trying to come clean and sort of like give some men a break. Because it's like you can never be too careful. Give Shannon Sharpe a break. One can never be too careful. You have money. You're gonna, as a man, you're gonna feel the need to mess with young, hot pieces of tail. And you can do everything right. Some people talk about, oh, we shouldn't have been voice messaging because she could use it. Yeah, look, if you're a person who has so many connections, who have things going on, you're gonna be calling people.
I might choke you in public.
You're gonna be voice messaging people. You're gonna be emailing people. You're gonna be texting people. And at some point, no matter how careful you are, somehow, some way, those text messages are going to be edited, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, manipulated, skewed, edited to make you seem guilty of some sort of crime.
Tony Busbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
You can never be too careful. Give Shannon Sharpe a break. Give Shannon Sharpe a break. Jeez. But that's my takes for now. And Shannon Sharpe, it's just very sad. You know, now he's losing everything over some leisure he wanted to indulge in from his busy schedule of being a high-value man. ESPN, Club Shay Shay, a successful podcast at that. And now everyone is coming out of the woodworks. Now, again, some people use that as a teaching lesson to some men. Sure. But just at the same time, just understand that it's almost as if, like, some of these influencers, they tell men to, get the bag. You're at the top. You climb Mount Olympus, you're at the top, or you've reached Mount Olympus. And then once you're at Mount Olympus, there's all these benefits. Now, at the same time, they say, oh, all these warnings, all these don'ts, all these do-don'ts. It's almost like the communication to men just, once you become a high-value man, just sit there and just sit still. Don't even breathe. What's the point? Once you get to Mount Olympus, you wanna, splurge and have fun. you should be careful about it, sure, but understand that it's inevitable for people trying to throw mines your direction. So if they see that, oh, you're able to maneuver around mines, you're able to evade the bullets. Some people will just take a bullet and just try to touch you with it and say, you tag, you're it. Give Shannon Sharpe a break. If you've been watching this far, thank you so much for watching. And remember, the Matrix has you. $50 million? Who do you think you got, Chelsea Clinton?
Gabbi and Tony Busbee want $50 million.
$50 million? And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
Follow the white rabbit. And I'm not talking about the snow bunny. Oh, fine. Follow them lovely, hot snow bunnies. Follow the snow bunny. Don't fall for the psyops. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.
Away.